insurance company Old Mutual has been at the back end of social media outrage, certainly over this weekend, over a customer complaint. The complainant, Sebabatso Molefe, alleged that Old Mutual is defying a court order to release her mother's pension. The post went viral on X and it gathered over 1 million retweets and calls for a boycott of Old Mutual. Some social media users, including celebrities, shared their personal experiences with the service they received from the insurer. So what can we make of this massive outrage? Well, for that, we're joined by lead ombud for the Life Insurance Division. We are joined by Denise Gabriels. Denise, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. I think you obviously would have seen the outrage over the weekend. I mean, your initial thoughts just seeing the massive discussion that's taking place on the platform across the country. All right, so we're going to try and get Denise back on the line, but we're going to show you just a slew of the tweets that have come in, and they certainly have been so many. There's the tweet that I think really started this conversation, that being the tweet by @Seba_S_M. That's Sebabatso Molefe. And here's the tweet that really sparked this conversation. In the tweet she says, "Dear @Old Mutual, please advise why you are refusing to release my mother's money even though a court order has been provided. You are in contempt of court and I'm about to lose my cool right now." That's Sebabatso's tweet that then hit social media, got over 1 million retweets, and then, of course, the stories really started to rush in, not just of other customers that had complaints about what they had gotten back from the insurer when they had claimed and how little that money was, but also from former employees saying that the insurer was forcing employees to pay for missing client installments. Denise joins us now. Denise, good morning to you. I'm hoping that you're able to hear me now. But I think just an overall view first on your initial reaction as the Ombud watching this conversation unfold over the weekend.
Yeah, good morning. It would seem to me as if it started with a complaint that doesn't necessarily relate to an insurance policy as such, more likely a retirement annuity. But I would think that, or I can see that there are lots of people that are unhappy. What I do want to say right up front is that there are escalation procedures when people are unhappy about the claims not having been paid or the claims not having been paid timelessly. The first would be to complain to the insurer themselves, lodge an official complaint, and if you're still not satisfied, that's when we come in and you can lodge a complaint with the Ombud. Now, we used to be the long-term insurance Ombud, but we've joined forces with the Credit Ombud, the Banking Ombud, and the Short-Term Insurance Ombud to form the National Financial Ombud Scheme South Africa as from the 1st of March.
Yeah.
And when we deal with it impartially, we deal with it, it doesn't cost the complainant anything. And you have expertise, that can help mediate or conciliate between yourself and the insurer. And it doesn't stop you from litigating afterwards if you're still not satisfied with the outcome.
I want to take a look at some of the tweets that we have seen. I mean, again, massive conversation taking place on social media, Denise. Here's a tweet that came up on X by Bulelani Philip. It says, "I cancelled Old Mutual in August 2023 after they gave me the runaround on a simple household claim. This debate triggers," so I'm sure quite triggered by it. He says, "This was my first claim after 10 years with them. After the runaround, I eventually just accepted their determined claim amount, which was 12%. So obviously very frustrated. What does this particular consumer then do when you feel, I mean, if you've paid for 10 years and you get back 12% of what you were expecting to get back from claims, what could be the reason for you getting so little?"
Yeah, it's very difficult to speak on individual complaints when you don't have, the full facts of what was the background or the background information and facts pertaining to that particular complaint. And what we see is that the one complaint sparked an outrage of lots of complaints about insurance in general, pension fund claims or retirement fund claims. So that particular claim, for example, seems to be in the short-term insurance space, which you can also complain to us about. And yeah, there's so many instances, you know. So, for example, on the life insurance side, often it's, that either the terms and conditions of the policy were not met. In other words, that either the premiums were in arrears and not paid, and that's also sometimes the case on the short-term insurance side, as well as the policy didn't cover the condition you're claiming for. So it's always important for policyholders to actually read the terms and conditions of their policy. Make sure they understand what they are being covered for.
But if the policy isn't covering the claim that you're claiming for, surely then you wouldn't get a small percentage. You just wouldn't get a payout, right? So I'm trying to understand what determination they I suppose, make on how you get to only 12% of the claim. So I know that we can't speak about specific complaints made here by people on X, but certainly we can speak broadly about why then you're able to get from 100% to 12% after 10 years of paying.
Yeah, again, I can't speak. It would depend on what the policy conditions stipulate. It could be that for a particular claim, only a percentage of the premium is paid. Sometimes insurers, I think, also make an equity claim because you didn't actually meet the full claim criteria, but we're prepared to pay a percentage. As I said, one would have to look at the particular instance in each case.
Yeah.
And decide on that. And so that's where our services come in. If you didn't get any satisfaction from your insurer or any financial institution.
Okay, I want to just look at one more tweet here. There's one that came in from Sia Lumbini, who says, Old Mutual has been scamming a lot of families. My brother died 7 years ago. Old Mutual has been giving me the runaround since then when it comes to claiming. They've sent me to court. The court sends me back to them, and every time it's a different story. I'm not being oversensitive or anything. I do not like the whole process. As someone who took care of him till the very end, I get triggered when I see his death certificate and autopsy report. It is honestly taking a toll on me. I am a mess. There have been times where I just put everything to rest for months, waited for his daughter to turn 18 so they don't need me, and now they're saying I am the beneficiary. The company has really tortured me and my family for years. I mean, these are heartbreaking stories. Families that are dealing with loss and now have to deal with the financial after effects of that as well. How many complaints, if at all, has the insurance ombud received about this particular insurer, perhaps even as a result of the conversation that has unfolded?
Unfortunately, I can't say offhand how many complaints for that particular insurer. They are the biggest, or one of the biggest insurers, I guess. So a substantial number of complaints we deal with, but I'm not saying that it's out of line with any other insurer's complaints. If one looks at the number of policies, we don't unfortunately keep track exactly of what percentage of the policies we receive complaints about. It really is a sad story. One of the things that excludes our jurisdiction is if the person currently has a matter or has lodged a matter with a court, and the court has either decided or it's still, litigation is in process. You can't have the same matter being heard in two different forums. But if it's not, then we do deal with complaints. We also have a fairness or an equity jurisdiction where we don't always strictly abide by the policy terms and conditions. If we think that that is unfair towards the policyholder, we do say that fairness goes both ways. So we look at trying to balance the scale between fairness to the insurer and to the policyholder or the claimant. But as I said, our services are free. While it's in our remit, then prescription doesn't run.
All right. Denise, we really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Denise Gabriel is the lead ombud for life insurance, speaking to us there on the line. And, of course, we have reached out to Old Mutual, and we will pursue them to come onto the show and give us some answers to the many, many questions and complaints that have been raised, certainly on social media. We await their responses. So we'll keep you updated on that conversation.